It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth a hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to the Science Bowl. A special edition today. The two teams you're about to meet have won once previously, and today's winner moves on to the quarterfinals in our competition. Play along and test your own science IQ today. Let's meet the team first from Woodridge Elementary School, and would you please say hello to Diego Larios, Kevin Rojas, and Edgar Barillas. And from Yorktown Elementary, here they are, Lauren London, Zoe Carbo, and Daniel Bailey. And now here are the categories of questions we use on the Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
And here on the Science Bowl, our game board reflects question difficulty. Easier questions on the left, worth 5 and 10 points. Tougher ones, 15, 20, and ultimately 25, the toughest of them all. Both of our teams start out at 50 points apiece. No penalties ever for incorrect answers. Into the 2 rounds today, we will have a team moving on to the quarterfinals, so a lot at stake. We started with 40 elementary schools. We will be down to our final 4 in the not-too-distant future. Let's make sure everything works properly. Kevin, would you try your buzzer? Thank you, young man. Good luck to you, to Edgar and Diego. And Zoe, how about the green teams? A-OK over there, too. And Lauren and Daniel and Zoe, good luck to you as well. May the better team win. And you're already great teams. You don't have to prove anything. You've already won once, but one of you is going to be moving on today, but you are all winners. We go alphabetically, so W is before Y, so Woodridge, go first. Kevin.
Let's go with green things for 5.
Green things for 5 points. Teams, you might have heard the legend that our first president, George Washington, told his father, "I cannot lie, I did chop down that tree." Yorktown.
Cherry.
Cherry tree. That's it. Good. Go, Zoe.
Zoo Parade for 10.
Zoo Parade for 10 points. Teams, if someone tells you something and you know that they're an expert and what they told you has to be right, you'll tell someone, "I got it right from what animal's mouth? I got it right from the blank's mouth." Zoe.
Lion.
Not the lion's mouth. Good try. The idiom is, "I got it straight from the what animal's mouth?"
Elephant.
Horses. The horse's mouth. Go green.
Body systems for 5.
Body systems for 5 points. If you're at the movies and it's really, really sad, it's your lacrimal gland that lets you shed a what? Yorktown.
Tear.
Tear. Guys, were you with me on that, Diego? If you were following me, when I say shed a what, tear just kind of falls right into that. You got to listen to everything I say. Follow every word I say. Go green.
Let's get physical for 10.
Physical for 10 points. Teams, if you have a barometer and you're at sea level, it will measure 15 pounds per square inch. What are you measuring? What are you measuring, Yorktown?
Pressure.
Yeah, what kind of pressure?
Water pressure.
No. Woodridge, 15 pounds per square inch. If you're at sea level, you've got your barometer. What are you measuring, young man?
Air pressure.
Air pressure, that's right. Good. Go red.
Let's go with Science Potpourri for 5.
Potpourri for 5 points. The biggest cabbages, they're huge. The biggest cabbages that are grown in the United States are grown in the land of the midnight sun, which is what state?
Texas.
Not Texas. Nope. The land of the midnight sun is what state? It's the place where there's so much sun, you get these giant cabbages. What you got?
Antarctica?
That's not a state.
Oh.
Good try. Alaska. Alaska was the correct answer. Alaska. Go red. Listen to Lauren. She knows her stuff. Go, Kevin.
Let's go with Dateline Science for 10.
Dateline Science for 10 points. Boy, this is kind of gruesome. When Galileo, the wonderful scientist, when he died, apparently somebody stole from his corpse a forefinger, a thumb, and one of these M-initialed teeth. Yorktown.
Molar.
Molar, that's it, Lauren. You know it. Good. Go green.
Zoo parade for 5.
Zoo parade for 5 points. Teams, this big black bird that Edgar Allan Poe wrote a poem about said the word nevermore. It's also well loved in Baltimore. Yorktown. Ravens. Yeah, the Baltimore Ravens. Good. Go green. Zoe.
Let's get physical for 5.
Physical for 5 points. Teams, the new king of the moons in our solar system is this planet that's just got 20 additional moons, knocking Jupiter down to second place. What planet's now number 1? Correct answer is Saturn. Saturn. Go again, please, green.
Science potpourri for 10.
Potpourri for 10 points. Teams, since Nobel Prizes are not awarded posthumously, the only way to win one is if you're what? Kevin?
Famous?
Not famous, no. Since Nobel Prizes are not awarded posthumously, in order to win one, you have to be what?
Successful.
You have to be alive.
Oh.
You have to be alive. Posthumously means they're dead. Okay. All right. Go green.
15
Dateline
point Science lead. For 5.
Dateline Science for 5? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
All right. 5 points, Dateline Science. Teams, there is a drone that can fly and walk. It's made by Lego, and it is named for this artist who painted the Mona Lisa and also one of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. What L initialed man am I talking about? Wait till I recognize you.
Oh.
Yorktown.
It's Leonardo. Oh.
Go ahead. Leonardo is all I need, just Leonardo. That's the name of the drone, after Leonardo da Vinci and Leonardo the Mutant Ninja Turtle. Go green.
Body systems for 10.
Body systems for 10 points, a multiple choice question. Teams, if you broke your mandible, I'm sorry about that, if you broke your mandible, did you fall down some steps, did you slip on some ice, or did you lose a boxing match?
Lose a boxing match?
You lost a boxing match because this is your mandible. Yeah, you got one right in the jaw. All right. Buzzer says we've come to the end of the first round here. Good round. 70 points for Woodridge, 80 for Yorktown. We'll be back with round 2 in just a moment. Don't you go away. Welcome back to Science Bowl. Thank you for spending part of your day with us. Here we are, our 34th year with Science Bowl, a game that tests science literacy and science IQs, and also it's a test of general knowledge here, how you put a lot of things together. We talk a lot about STEM subjects now, science, technology, engineering, and math. Throw the A in there, arts, and yeah, everything means everything to everything. And that's what we're trying to show here with our questions. And we've got 6 great players here. They're trying to make sense of it all. They're doing a nice job. Kevin, tell us about your school, Woodridge. Who is your principal?
Our principal is Miss Viola Joyner.
Wonderful. Yes, indeed. Miss Joyner is very proud of you guys. And Miss Sabri is your coach, and I know she has worked very long and hard with you. Did you have an alternate on your team or 2?
Yes. It was DeMarcus and Christian, but Christian can't come because his dad didn't let him.
Okay, all right, so DeMarcus is here, and we'll bring him out. I know he's down the room there. He's been yelling questions in the other room. We can't hear him up here, but he's a good guy, and we'll bring him out with your teacher today, who is here, right? What's his name? Mr.
Lasner?
Lasner, yes. He will be out in just a few moments. Woodridge is a great school. You've got coding there, and you've got music. I know you guys are all musicians here. What else do you like about Woodridge? What about your teachers?
Our teachers are very nice and encourage us to do things, and no matter how long it takes us, like pace, they still try to help you.
That's very important, isn't it, Kevin? You know, because everybody goes at a different pace, and good teachers recognize that. Thanks for sharing that. Sounds like a wonderful school. Kevin, someday you want to?
I want to be an architect.
Architect, that's right. And this young man plays the flute, and Edgar, you play the saxophone. Is that right? For 3 years?
2.
2 years. What got you interested in playing the sax?
Because when I looked at it, I'm like, it had too many buttons.
It's got
But when
so
when I saw it up close, I counted and it only had 24.
Oh my
So
goodness.
that wasn't too much. So I would like the sound of it, and I started playing.
It's got a great sound, doesn't it? Yeah, a lot of jazz musicians play the sax, and you know, it's almost as big as you are when you first start playing it. It's a huge instrument. Would you like to be a professional musician someday?
Yes.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, you're a fine young man. I like how you play the game. Diego, tell us the Diego story. What do you do in your spare time?
I like to play games, and sometimes I like to study Japanese on my free time.
Yeah, you told me about that before. Why Japanese?
No, it's because over there, there's a lot of stuff, and I wanted to go visit over there, so I can communicate with other people. That's why I'm studying.
That's a great idea. Yeah, because the world is very small, in fact, and cultures are, even though they look different, there's a lot of commonality in our cultures here. So do you think you might get to Japan someday?
Yes.
I hope so too. Yeah, nice dream. All right, let's go over and talk to, and before I leave you, Diego, what instrument do you play again?
Trumpet.
Trumpet, that's right. All right. Yorktown, nice to have you guys here. Zoe, you're back, and Daniel and Lauren, they were alternates before, and now they're showtime. They're big news. They're here on the panel. Tell us about Yorktown. Who's your principal?
Our principal is Dr. Savoy.
Indeed, Terrence Savoy, and wonderful principal. And you've got a number of coaches, don't you?
Yes.
And you have a lot of support here today. Tell us who they are.
Our coaches are Miss Elmore, Miss Parambo, and Miss Morales.
Miss Morales, yes. Wonderful. And tell me, you have a lot of alternates,
Yes.
and we'll bring them out at the end, and I'll have you introduce them. All right, how's that?
Good.
Tell me about yourself.
Oh, I do study Japanese in my spare time as well.
Wow.
I have a friend named Gabe who is actually really obsessed with Japan. So what I do in my spare time, my dad has a Japanese dictionary, is I read it and then I tell Gabe what I learned.
Wow. And if you can speak another language, that just speaks volume about your general education, because it just, you can see a lot of commonalities there. I think that's just great. Zoe, something special about Yorktown you want to tell us?
Well, I already told you how diverse we are, but we do have a STEM lab that is really cool, actually.
Nice.
It has a touch smartboard that it's like a computer, like, you know those MacBooks?
Yeah.
Tabs, everything.
Wow.
It's amazing.
What a great resource to have at your school there. You're an amazing young lady, and I love how you play the game, and just keep it up. Lauren, nice to have you here. She was telling me she loves to travel, and she's been to Disney World, and her favorite place is the Big Easy, New Orleans. What do you like about New Orleans, Lauren?
I like the food, and it's interesting to see how different it is. Like, it's different from here, and it's nice to see something new.
Absolutely. That's why we travel. That's why we travel. And they have a food down there called beignets. They're like these big, heavy donuts, and you eat 2 of them and you can't even move, but boy, are they good. Yeah. What do you want to do someday?
I want to be a pediatrician, but before I become a pediatrician, I want to go to Yale and get my medical degree.
Wow, you got it all planned out. You have a good head on your shoulders, Lauren. I like your enthusiasm. You're going to be successful, whatever you do.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Daniel, nice to have you with us today. Tell us the Daniel story. What do you do in your spare time?
I love to draw, but I am obsessed with building Legos.
Wow.
I don't ask why. I just picked it up when I was young.
Boy, you've got a nice way. You're like a performer. I could see you being an actor, or you could do my job. You got a good voice too. Tell me about Legos. What's the most complicated thing you've made, or the favorite thing you've made?
I would like to say the most complicated, which was a rolling castle that could actually move and blast things, but at the same time it could open up and you can make it stop moving, and it could also deploy a motorcycle.
Wow.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. What do you want to do? Do you want to be an architect or?
I kind of want to be an animator.
Animator. That sounds great. All right. I like your spirit. Let's get back to the game. 70 to 80. Woodridge 70. Yorktown 80. Lots of points. All the tougher questions remain. Where to, Kevin?
Zoo Parade for 20.
Zoo Parade for 20 points. Teams, how many of you like seafood? If you go to a seafood buffet and you eat some clams and you eat some oysters, you're eating mollusks. But if you eat crabs and shrimp and lobster, you're not eating mollusks, you're eating these kinds of animals.
Crustaceans.
Yeah, that's the crustacean heaven. Good. Green, go.
Body systems for 15.
Body systems for 15 points. Teams, heartburn is a misnomer because when you eat that whole pizza, it's not your heart that's burning, it's this food tube that acid from the stomach is bubbling up into. Name that food tube, Yorktown.
The esophagus.
Esophagus, yes indeed. Good answer, good answer. Go green.
Don't leave
Yes.
There. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Let's get physical 15.
Let's get physical for 15 points. Teams, how many of you have a cell phone? Me too. There are lithium-ion batteries in there, and they can generate 4 of these electrical units. 4 watts.
Volts.
Volts it is, yes indeed. Good, go.
Okay, so I'm gonna pick green things for 10.
Green things for 10 points. Teams, when you sit down at Thanksgiving, you get a piece of this pie, you've been faked out because it's probably winter squash rather than this big squash that you thought was in there. Yorktown.
Pumpkin.
Yeah, what you think is pumpkin is oftentimes, yeah, they fake us out. Butternut and winter squash. You already knew
my mom
that.
told me, like, oh yeah, we're not getting the fake powder stuff.
All right, thanks Zoe. Go green.
Zoo Parade for 15.
Zoo Parade for 15 is a visual question. Look at the monitor in the studio, please. This is nightmarish. This creature on the island of Madagascar is called an aye-aye, A-Y-E-A-Y-E. Has a long middle finger and it goes into the bark and it tries to pull out worms. I'll give you the points if you can tell me what group of primates it belongs to on the island of Madagascar. And it's filled, Madagascar, with all these primates. What are they? Yeah, Yorktown.
Lemurs.
They are all lemurs. You got that right. Thank you, Daniel. Nice assist there. How many of you saw those movies? Madagascar, absolutely. All those lemurs. Yeah, Julius, the main king there. Go green.
Green things for 15.
Green things for 15 points. Teams, the Chinese have really broken new ground. They think they might have a treatment for Alzheimer's disease, which we know robs people of their memories and their intelligence. They got something from kelp, which is a brown form of this kind of plant. Kelp is a brown form of what kind of plant? Yes, Lauren.
Seaweed.
Seaweed, absolutely, or algae. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you. Yes, indeed, go green.
Science potpourri for 15.
Potpourri for 15 points. Teams, this, if it is high-pitched, can be directed at your kidney and it can break up stones. If it is low-pitched, it can be directed at a pregnant woman's womb and you can see the outlines of a baby. What am I talking about?
Ultrasound.
Ultrasound, absolutely. Sound it is. Ultrasound is for the sonogram, and the ultrasound is actually when it is used as a tool for actually breaking up stones. Good plan. Come on, Woodridge. Don't give up on me here. Kevin, you got the stuff. Let's see it. Go, Yorktown.
Dateline science for 15.
Dateline science for 15 points. A multiple choice question. Look at the monitor. Come on, guys. You need this one. All right. This is a New York Yankee by the name of Lou Gehrig. And he stood in front of a microphone and he said, I am the luckiest man on the face of the earth because he got to play with the Yankees, but he was dying. He had a disease that affected his nervous system, the same disease that affected Stephen J. Hawking. I'm going to give you a choice here. It's now known today as Lou Gehrig's disease, but it is also called MS, ALS, or AIDS. Pick one, Kevin. What do you want to tell me, Edgar?
AIDS.
Not AIDS. It's not AIDS, no. Is it MS, ALS, or AIDS? This Lou Gehrig's disease that also affected Stephen Hawking.
ALS.
It is ALS. Amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. Yes, indeed. Good comeback there. Thanks for trying for us, Edgar. Go, Yorktown.
Green things for 20.
Green things, 20 points. Teams, newspapers and magazines and toilet paper are all made of ground up wood that contains cellulose. It has this P initial name, the same name that you find for the interior of your tooth. It is called wood what? Yeah, Yorktown.
Plaque.
Not plaque. Good try, Dan. P initial, ground up wood. They use it and they turn it into newsprint. They turn it into toilet paper. Wood pulp. Pulp. Go green. Go Zoe.
Body systems for 20.
Body systems for 20 points. Teams, if you know what kinetic energy is, then you know that the science of kinesiology is all about how we human beings do what? Move. Move. How we move. Go green.
Let's get physical for 20.
Physical for 20 points. All right, kind of a joke. Listen carefully. Fracking is when water is injected into the earth to loosen up the oil that's down there. Oftentimes, it also causes earthquakes. So you might say that those earthquakes, Kevin, are all fracking's what? Since they did it. It's their what? It's their fault. It's their fault. Fault lines. I told you it might be a little bit of a joke. Go green.
Okay. Science potpourri for 20.
Potpourri for 20 points. Teams, people who go into space that are American are known as astronauts. But if you're a Russian and you go into space, you're known as one of these.
Astronomers?
Say it again, Kevin.
Astronomers?
Not an astronomer. If you're a Russian space traveler, you're not an astronaut. You're a what?
Cosmonaut.
Daniel, say it.
A cosmonaut.
Cosmonaut, that's right. Dan, you stepped up again. Good. Go green.
Dateline science for 20.
Dateline for 20 points. Teams, there's a NFL quarterback, Sam Darnold, who wears a special vest because this S-initialed organ, where blood is cleansed, but which we can live without, was damaged in a football play. What is that S-initialed internal organ where red blood cells are cleaned? It's part of your immune system. Yeah.
Spleen?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, oh my goodness sake. I didn't know if you'd pull that one out of the hat. Spleen it is. Good, go. All right, all the tough questions left. Let's get them all, Kevin. Let's get them all. Get yourself back in this game. Go.
Green things 25.
Green things 25 points. All right. Because your baby teeth fall out, the same adjective is used for them as for trees that lose their leaves in the fall. Push it. No, not yet. Not until someone rings in. Deciduous. Deciduous trees lose their leaves in the fall, and your baby teeth are known as deciduous teeth because they too fall out. On Science Bowl, I hope you learned some things too. Yeah, I hope you let us know what you know, but I hope you're also taking some things away from this. Go again, green.
Zoo parade 25.
Zoo parade for 25 points. All right. There is a crane, a rare bird called a whooping crane. There's also a cough called a whooping cough. I'll give you 25 points if you can spell whooping. Careful, careful, careful. All right,
Lauren.
who's going to beat my spelling?
Lauren.
Lauren, say the word for me.
Whooping.
Yes, go ahead.
W-H-O-O-P-I-N-G.
Perfect. Perfect. Yes, indeed. You got it. You got it. All right, Lauren. Go, Zoe.
Body systems 25.
Body systems for 25 points. We know that if a salamander loses one of its limbs, it grows back. Human beings, that doesn't happen. But we can regrow this gristly substance that's actually found in the bridge of our nose when it's found in our joints, like our ankles, Yorktown.
Cartilage.
Yes, indeed, it is the cartilage. All right. The buzzer says our game is over, and it has been all Yorktown today. They're moving on in the competition. Before we leave, we'll wrap up our show. We'll be right back. Well, what a game we had here today. Our final tally is Woodridge 70, Yorktown 290. Congratulations to Lauren and Zoe and Daniel. Congratulations to you. Wonderful, wonderful team. And Woodridge, you were up against a steamroller here today, but that doesn't diminish your contribution and what great students you are. You're fine young men, and we're very happy to have you here. A round of applause for the Woodridge team. Diego, Kevin, Edgar, and back there is, who do we have? DeMarcus? DeMarcus, let's see a smile. I know your team did well. Mr. Lassner, thank you for being here today. And Zoe, would you be good enough, since you have so many people on your team there? We have Miss Morales, the wonderful coach. Could you identify everybody?
Yes, this is Lauren, as you know.
Yeah.
And then we have Giselle, Gabby on the the earlier round.
Yeah.
And we have Miss Morales, our coach. We have Emma, we have Riley in our former round, and we have Jasmine, and we have Ebony, and Daniel from our current round.
And the one and only Zoe is over there too. You will be coming back to play Whitehall in the quarterfinals. Whitehall is a former county champion. I know you're going to do well. Round of applause for everybody here today. And for yourself. Thank you for staying with us today. Hope you enjoyed today's show. I'm Dave Zarin, and we will see you next time on the Science Bowl. Bye-bye.